Hi, I'm Kristin Clark, and I'm here with Bobby Hood, and we are coming to you with another installment of College Planning Untangled, where we simplify the college planning process for our parents and our kids that are thinking about college. Bobby, how are you doing today?
Just great. Yeah, it's that time of year where people are moving off, heading to start college. Seniors are writing their essays. So it's a good time to talk about these things.
Yeah. And the topic that I wanted to talk about today, Bobby, is this. I just met with a few clients this week, and this topic has continued to come up, and that is, when do we really need to start planning for college?
Yeah.
And, I was talking to parents of rising sophomores about this topic, and I got to tell you, I have an opinion on this. I don't know if it's a popular opinion, but I'm going to go ahead and throw it out there. I'm of the opinion that college planning really doesn't need to start for most of our kids until junior year.
Mm.
And so I look at rising sophomores and freshmen for sure. And I just say, you know what? Let these kids go to high school and experience all the cool things that a high school has to offer, and
Mhm.
just let them chill the heck out. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, I think that's a really important point. I mean, you know, you like you've got to give your kids freedom to be themselves and figure out who they are, and they don't know, right? When they're a freshman or sophomore, and they are just learning things about themselves and making those stories that they're going to be writing about, in their essays when they're applying to college. They don't even know the things yet, right? And so I think there's so much challenge and turmoil and all of that goes
Pressure.
on.
And
Exactly.
pressure,
Yeah.
and with the last 2 years.
Mhm.
Now, I will tell you, let me just finish my thought, and then I'll go into my next thought. With the last 2 years, these kids have been through hell. It's like,
Right.
just let them enjoy school,
Yeah.
and get back to what high school is supposed to be, and that is hanging out with your buddies, learning a little bit, about a lot of different things, getting
Mhm.
involved in groups, doing all that stuff, and just let them do that and have that freedom, um, to just, like you said, make memories and figure out who they are as a person.
Absolutely. I mean, if they, the thing you help students with so much is figuring out what your strengths are and what might be a good career and things like that to go to. And right when you're a freshman and sophomore and things like that, you're still developing what those strengths are, right? And so you wouldn't even know you can change, over the time and also like, you've got the college admissions timeline, of the things you ought to do to prepare for college. And if you look at it, if you download that and you can, download that from your
Oh,
website, like if you look at that timeline, literally the only thing it has, sophomore year is just, hey, once or twice, think about a couple of things, like just realize it's going to happen. Pay attention to your grades, get good grades on your transcript, right? Focus on that, focus on what classes you're taking. That's it, right? Then junior year, that's when you start doing the work, right? That's when you
yes.
start really actually starting. And even fall of junior year, there's not much to do. It's just a couple of things to discuss. But then spring and junior year, it gets a little more active. There's more stuff to do, right?
Yes, and Bobby, with that point, I typically don't even take students in my courses until
Mhm.
they're rising junior, summer, and even then, I leave it up to mom and just go, "Okay, you know your kid. Are they ready? Are they
Mhm.
ready to do this work?" Now, in that same vein, I have taken some sophomores because the moms are like,
Mhm.
"Oh, man, Kristen, he's an old soul."
Right.
And quite honestly, I've had great luck with those kids
Mhm.
that the mom felt that they're ready. So, I mean, this is, something that every family has to think about, but you've heard me say this. I remember those days when moms were coming to me and going, "Hey, did you get this done for college? Did you get that done for
Mhm.
college?" before I got
Right.
into this work, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm a bad parent, and I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm gonna fail my kids." I'm here to tell you, ladies, you're not failing your kids.
Right.
let them be a high school student and enjoy these years and take that monkey off your back, because guess
Right.
what? There's more than enough time for most of our kids to get this accomplished and done. So that's it. That's all
Absolutely.
I
Yeah.
got.
Yeah. And I think just, yeah, my last point then would be, from what you were just saying, is let the kid lead on this, right? Like, once it's junior year, you need to say, okay, we need to start, once a month or whatever, have a little talk about this. But before that, don't press the student into having to start doing stuff. But if you've got one of those kids who's a sophomore and they're ready to start the college planning thing, well, sure,
Get her
if they're
done
the
then,
one,
right? Get her
right?
done.
And that's
Yeah.
the same thing. And you said, you generally don't take sophomores, but when you do, it's rare, but generally it's a great experience. And same thing for me. When people call me about tutoring and they say, when should I start? And I say, the earliest you should probably start is the summer after sophomore year, right before junior year starts. That's the earliest. And even that might be a little early, but then as a result, since that's the way I talk to people about it, I have maybe, you know, 5% of my students are sophomores, and they're students who are the ones who are like, hey, I want to do this now. I'm ready. And they tell their parents, they're like, I want to do it now and get it out of the way. And yeah, and then it's a great experience, but it's because they were the ones who wanted to do it.
They were the ones pushing it. Yes, I
Yeah.
agree with you.
And
Yes.
that's the thing and my philosophy is always treat students, give them the opportunity at least of treating them like they're an adult and saying, hey, you're in charge of this. See if you can do it. You organize yourself. You do all that. And I say, you don't need to talk to your parents about this tutoring. Let's just get it done. Right. Uh, Now, if they aren't capable of doing that, and a lot of students aren't, then yeah, then you've got to get on them and kind of keep them in line about it. But that's for junior year and fall of senior year, right? Not for
Yes.
sophomore. And
Yes.
that's it.
And yeah, and it goes back to mamas, you've got this. You know your
Mhm.
kiddo and you're okay.
Absolutely.
Don't get too caught up in the whirlwind and let these kids have fun.
Absolutely. And I think that's a great reason to download that college planning timeline, because you'll see that there's really isn't that much you need to do. And if you look at that, you can feel comfortable and like, okay, I am doing everything that I need to do. And that's it.
Absolutely. All right. It's been fun.
All right, great to see you.